Today I am comparing the Squire Bullet with the Johnston Traditional. Why am I doing that? Well, they look very similar. This one's like the slightly hotter sister, and I'll show you the differences, but I want to see if this still beats this out, because so far in my test this has won every time. So we're going to put it against this to see if it wins. Visually there's some big differences. Obviously you get the roasted maple neck here, which is really nice, and the locking tuners, whereas this is just cheap wood, but the tuners on here are good. Usually stays in tune about 3 days. Also this one's got like an Indian laurel fretboard, I believe, and then this one has ebony, and it's got these cool hollowed out circles. The tremolo, this one's a push-in, chrome all the way, very cool, and it's got like a minty green pickguard on it with the vintage style pickups that are like faded, and you also have the drawing a blank here, but you know what that is, the truss rod adjuster at the bottom instead of at the top, so the top's nice and smooth, whereas the truss rod adjuster there, obviously up top. And this also has a whammy bar, but it is screw in, it is not push in. So this one you just slap on, this one you screw on. So that's the visual differences and body differences, and of course this is made of better woods and such. But anyway, alright, now I'm going to show you how they sound and compare those out. Next for the Squire. Alright, next for the Johnston. Top and middle. Alright, top and middle pickup. Everyone's favorite position on the Strat, the middle. Just kidding. But I'm using delay for that because you only use for leads if used much. Getting funky with the middle and bottom pickup. Bridge on the Schecter. Here's a sonic lead of each one. Here it is, clean on the neck, Squire. Clean on the neck with the neck Johnston. Neck pick up in middle. Alright, and here we go, neck and middle, clean, neck Johnston. Apparently this song works good with any clean position, so here's the middle, same song basically. Alright, middle neck Johnston. Vibrato on here is much more sensitive. I like it. It's effortless. Just a little touch will do it. So the vibrato on here is better than the other one, but still both pretty good. All right, here's the middle pickup and the bridge together, clean. Clean, middle, and bridge. Nick Johnston. Nick. I will say before I go to the next part, this is a little less spanky than the Squire. Squire's got the ceramic pickups, and I actually like the cheap ceramic because it's so spanky. So that's just an observation. Bridge, clean, Squire. Bridge, clean, Nick Johnston, traditional. Less harsh, a little less bright. They're clean. You decide. One thing I love about this is the pinch harmonics. It kind of goes up to the higher register naturally, the way PRSs do when you got a lot of gain on them. Like, just listen. See, it's going up. It's going a higher octave. Yeah, I love that. And then I'll show you how the Nick Johnston does that harmonic too. There's that pinch harmonic. See that one? It doesn't climb up like the way PRSs do, and surprisingly the way the Squire does with the ceramic pickups. Like, it's trying, but it doesn't really do it. It's almost there, but it's not. So that's an observation. I will say on the plus side, like, this guitar has more chug chug, but I do like that soaring harmonic. So like the and now I'll play the Squire so you can hear the difference in the chug. So depends on what's important to you. Here's the chug chug. It's noticeably different. I prefer those high harmonics more because I don't do a lot of chugging. But if you do a lot of chugging on a Strat, well, opt for either, the HSS, have yourself a humbucker, or the Nick Johnston is definitely beefier when it comes to that low end. So it depends on what your preferences are. So the last notable differences that I didn't mention at the beginning, the plates on the back. This is like real metal for the top and bottom piece. Pretty cool. There's the Schecter design, you know, and then there's the plate, and then, you know, just basic plastic plate and that. So, and then also a big difference is Squires have the traditional input jack, just like any Strat up there up top. This one, it's on the bottom, kind of like a Telecaster. And I'll let you see the type of configuration that is. Me personally, I love the input jack on a Strat more because I can lay on the couch and play. Whereas this, you know, it got the wire and it's kind of resting down against the seat. So, you know, and he also has his signature etching on there, his autograph. I never heard of him before this signature model. Let me know if you have, comment if you've ever heard of this guy before the signature model came out. I don't know if he's a product placement plant from Schecter or if he was a real artist before. I could be totally wrong on that. Anyway, my conclusion is I feel like once again the Squire won. There's pros and cons to both. Again, the tuners on the Schecter are better than these tuners, but these are still good. They still last about 3 days in tune. The tremolo, the whammy bar is better on the Schecter than this. Let me hold up the Schecter so you can look at that, because everybody knows what a Squire looks like. So, I love the neck on this. So style-wise, of course, this is better. You know, both have the belly cut away, which is very comfortable, and the, you know, armrest. So style-wise, this wins. Sound-wise, I still like the Squire more. I just do. Outside of the chugging, this is better for chugging, obviously. You could tell. But if chugging's not your thing, then consider all the other factors. So a final mention of the Squire Strat. The only issue that I had was the B tuner kept popping my string. Like, I would just turn it a little bit and it would pop, and I couldn't figure out why. I looked online. Turns out all you gotta do is get like an old thick E string, like one that you've taken off, and run it through, like rotate and run it through the hole of the tuner, and it gets rid of any sharpness that would cause it to cut your string. So that fixed that issue. Haven't had any issues since. And the only other honest thing is sometimes when you're tuning, it does that dive thing where the note dives back down and you gotta tune it back up. Or the infamous G string, like most guitars, that's the first to go out of tune. But still stays in tune about 3 days. That issue, once you tune it, it stays in tune. I've even gone on airplane flights and it was still in tune when I landed. So that's pretty crazy. You can also use an old E string to run through the groove of the nut should you ever experience buzz there. But I've never experienced any issues with it. I've had it 3 years. That tuner thing was the only issue. That was straight out of the box. It had that, broke several strings. Figured it out. Very minor and easily fixable problem. The Nick Johnston, I mean, no issues really. Just hard to justify the price for the sound difference is all. I don't like that it can't do the sonic climb naturally like PRSs and Squires do. I don't like how much it costs for just a little bit of sound improvement. I feel like you could maybe go with the Mexican Fender Player Series, or just save up for what you really want, because it's going to cost you more if you keep buying and reselling. So, but no complaints. Looks wise, it's really nice. I mean, look at that. I like the pick guard. Look at this pick guard, all white and plain, which you can buy a cheap one to replace, like the Perloids. And then this one is like a creamy, and it's got the vintage. So if you go to Sweetwater, they have these in black with a neck that is like this on the front, and it's sweet looking. So I wish I knew about that before. So check out Sweetwater's, because I think that it's the only side I've seen where they got the black with the maple neck. I mean, with the maple fretboard. So check that out. It's really cool. So there you go. If you're curious about my tone, so line 6 Pod Go, the head rush, and I don't even remember which amp I was using. US double norm with a 212 double C12N cab, and of course a tube screamer. And when I'd want the extra lead, I put on the Klon or the Minotaur, and then to give it that extra boost. So there you go. Happy tone hunting. Hope you find what you love. Let me know which one you picked. One correction I have to make, there was one issue with the Schecter. So when I got it, the 5th and 7th have some fret buzz. You can hear it. You can hear that ring. I didn't hear that before because I had my amp so loud, but yeah, there's definitely some look at that. So yeah, quality control, it's a risk you take when you buy any import guitar. There's going to be quirks. There's a US model of this that I imagine has much better quality control. I feel like most of it's good, very smooth, but that one thing, you know, why go this far and then neglect to check on that? So if you get one of these, you may have to pay to have it set up. I called Musician's Friend and told them about that, and they offered to either take it back or they'd give me a significant discount on it so that I can go pay to get it fixed. Usually about $40, 40 to 60, depending on where you go for a neck setup. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of it enough, so I'm just going to send it back. I'm kind of glad that issue was there so that I could send it back without having to pay shipping. But anyway, risk you take with import guitars. But other than that, honestly, no issues whatsoever, and that is easily fixable. So there you go.